Next summer, a hero will rise from long, long ago, hidden in the mists of time. Events that have passed into legend. Stories never before told until now. Based on actual events from the people who know him best. Get ready for stories of tender romance.
Most men go out and buy their wives rings, bracelets for their anniversaries and birthdays. I'm not sure whether it was anniversary or birthday, but Pat went out and bought Mary a skip lorry with 20 skips.
Get ready to hear about a diplomat who always thinks carefully before he acts.
This day he was on site and he found 3 men dossing. And he sacked them. Send them up the road, get your comics, off you go. It was only next morning that it was realised that he had sacked 3 men from another firm, not his own workers at all.
A man who does the unexpected, just for the hell of it.
Everybody out on the balcony, and Pat had arranged for the pilot to give the bride and groom a fly past in the helicopter, and this helicopter came whizzing down and up, back the other way, everybody waving, and it made their day. And I think a lot of the guests thought it was premeditated, but it wasn't.
A big man with a big personality.
I think if you meet Pat once, you won't forget him. He's a one-off. There ain't many like Pat in any country, I don't think. He's a one-off gent. And what he sets his mind out to do, he will do it. Nothing will stop him from doing it. It might take time, but he will get there eventually.
Ted phoned me up to the quarry to ask me something, and I said, Ted, I'll have to phone you back. The computer has crashed and I've got to get into it to try and get something sorted out. You overheard the conversation and you said, right, Jesus, it must be a big computer if Joe McAdam can get into it.
Stories of kindness and generosity.
A few hours later, a hire car arrived here at Gallagher's expense for me to use until my insurance claim was sorted out. But that is the sort of man he is. You know, he's very, very generous and wants to help people out as much as he can.
Stories of revenge.
The contractor then didn't pay us, so we went back and we planed all the blacktop up and we took all the type 1 up and we took all the metalwork away. Because since they hadn't paid us, we just took it back. And lots of people talk about things like that, but we've actually done it.
The story of the digger driver with a delicate touch.
Pat was driving the digger on this site, and we had a lot of good machine drivers. I'm not sure that Pat was. But one particular day he broke 2 water mains and got my wife to ring the water board, and which she did, and the next thing was he rang again, he'd broken another one.
I remember you telling me the story about the machine you got, the first machine. But anyhow, you nearly done a bit of demolition with it. Took the bridge in Halesford with you when you were doing a bit of driving.
A man with a meticulous attention to detail.
He used to go about in a grey pickup truck, and he used to say to me, I've just picked a painting job up. I said, Pat, I don't paint. He said, no, that's all right. Just slap it on.
A man who likes to gamble.
We'd get within about £5,000 of the deal, and Pat would always want to toss for it. So he'd get a coin out and he said, right, we're having a deal, heads or tails, and we'd always toss there.
A man with awesome energy.
The more you see of Pat, you think if there are a lot of Pat Gallaghers around, the world would be a lot better place. And I once gave a speech about him, saying that it'd be a good idea perhaps if we could clone Pat. And then I began to think about the consequences of cloning Pat, and actually I don't think we need another Pat Gallagher. I think one's quite enough, frankly.
Stories of determination.
It's what you get when you get a very successful man. You get a very complex individual who he breaks the rules very often, and he goes beyond the mark very often because he's so hell-bent on achieving his ambition, and he won't be put off.
A man who's not afraid to take risks.
I went to the auction with him. And he got the farm, obviously plus the land, for £1 million. And he turned to me, he said, "I'm happy now, I'm £1 million in debt." I just passed out, I couldn't stand the strain of that.
A man who likes to bet on the ponies.
Horse racing is another love, and he loves to win. He loves to win at actually everything, so I take my hat off to him for what he's achieved over those years. He's took the chances, he's worked hard.
When we had our big day when she won at Fontwell, when we won all the money and I went missing, and you found me behind the tree counting all this big load of money.
And perseverance against all the odds.
There was one time when things weren't so good, he was advised to pack it all up, and that Christmas he threw a bigger party than ever. So you can't put down a man like that, you know, he just keeps going.
In theaters summer 2013, a movie you'll never forget. The Pat Gallagher Story. Certificate PG.